Hi, I'm Cherie Jones-Dick, and I studied the title position Youth Services Case Manager. This title can also be found in other positions such as, or be called Guardian Ad Litem or Court-Appointed Special Advocate, which is an acronym for CASA. So it can be found with a few different titles or names online. I did find a specific job opening for a part-time youth services case manager with Christmas Box organization. They were hiring part-time for where you'd be paid hourly. But overall, this job has a work environment of can be very stressful. It would largely depend on who you work with, your attitude about the job, and motivation level, and the managers that you work with. But it can be very stressful, but it also can be very rewarding. Some of those typical stressors are redundant paperwork, having to do paperwork over and over again, documenting things about the youth that you work with. Also, one person did mention, I got my references from and information from Indeed.com, YouTube.com. I watched a few interviews from people that have this job, and one of them has mentioned that they did feel like she was in danger at times. So there could be that aspect, probably depending on which city you work in, where you work, and again, the youth that you're working with and who they're involved with. This job can be also stressful because if they assign you to several youth, you can just get an overload of cases, and that can be stressful. Some of the common tasks are you're expected to act as a liaison between legal guardians or parents and clinical specialists. When the youth comes in, you assess them. You basically give them an interview, find out who they are, where they're at, and really what their emotional and physical needs are, and try to meet those needs through resources that you have access to and giving them access to those resources, setting them up with counseling, and helping them keep those appointments. Sometimes you're asked to take them to those appointments or court appointments that they have. You also work with the law enforcement and finding out their history, if they have had any crime history, and what they're responsible for there. You also can be part of arranging a safe environment for them to stay in. So there's a lot of paperwork and documents that goes along with all these duties and these tasks. So some of the typical benefits, I did not find anywhere that there were any type of full-time benefits, any insurance, or I'm assuming that they would have the regular paid time off for sick or vacation, but I did not find any documents or anything online that did say that. The educational requirements would be a bachelor degree in social work or family marriage science or something of that equivalent from an accredited university. This particular job at Christmas Box International also required an SWC, a social worker certificate that they wanted you to have. Some of the typical salary range can be either hour or salary. The hourly rate started anywhere from $11 to $21 for the starting range, and for experienced, about $26 an hour. With salary, it can started out about $24,000 to $54,000 a year for experienced. Some of the interviews that I watched did say how rewarding this was, also how emotionally straining it could be. They would stay up at night just thinking about the youth that they worked with, but it was also amazing to see the change that they could be a part of in helping these youth realize there are better things out there, and that there's hope. So it can be a very rewarding but stressful job.